All right, welcome back to the Kruses, the show that absolutely nobody asked for. I realized on the last one, we were talking about visions, and I kind of gave my vision of the channel, but I failed to ask you if you had a vision or a direction you saw this going. So, being the great man that I am, I would like to invite you to give us a little gist of
my vision?
Of your take. Yes, please.
I think for the most part, I'm just kind of like along for the ride, just kind of like letting you kind of steer. But I would also say, in light of us doing this and me being home right now on maternity leave, I feel like I've kind of just wanted to like reach out to, or I guess maybe provide some content for new moms or even like people who are already moms. I know that being a mom is not a new thing, and so many people before me have already experienced all the things that I'm experiencing right now, but I'm probably like a feminist's worst nightmare in the fact that like I've just always wanted to be like a wife and mom. And that's like, I could be happy doing that for the rest of my life. So I feel like there's things that, I don't know, like I'm even like fine with sharing like kind of the bad part of all of that too. Just like,
the messy stuff.
Yeah. Just like I recently shared on Instagram, like, you know, I had a bad day with Harlow just because she was like super whiny, and just like sharing the parts that aren't that glamorous as well. And I don't know, I guess that's where I feel like I can provide the most value right now, because that's what I'm going through.
Yeah. I think, and that's just, you naturally are just a caregiver.
Yeah.
Which you fell into that professionally. And it's always been a dream of yours personally.
Yeah.
To have this family.
Right.
Yeah, no, and it kind of seems like today there's this stigma against women that have that desire to be more like at home.
Not be so career driven.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that a lot of people will resonate with your perspective.
Yeah, because I'm not saying it's a bad thing if, you know, that women that do value their career and, you know, are totally driven in that part of their life. Like, I think that's amazing, but that's just like not me. Like, I love my job, and it's not that I don't have any drive there, but this is just something that's like even greater to me. It's more of a priority. Yeah.
You couldn't care less to have shiny things, and you would much rather have a house with 8 dogs and 12 children. And
I don't know, maybe not that many.
Well, around there, give or take, with you cooking like a huge batch of chili for everybody with Christmas music on, and everyone has matching pajamas, including the dogs. And we paid $400 at TJ Maxx to get everybody the same set of clothes to match. Yeah, which I think is cool. I think over the years, I was kind of resistant to, I don't know if resistant, I was just way more career driven.
Yeah.
And I think that was like when we had tough moments, was like, is our future the same?
Yeah. Trying to understand each other.
Yeah. Is this like, yeah, I know. But I think just leaning into each other, I think you understand more about kind of my perspective on work. And I think I understand more about the value that you bring as just raising a family. And I think now having a baby, I think maybe parents will recognize this as well, maybe not, but I think it also kind of just fuels everything else that you have, your own desires as an individual. Like, honestly, I think about her when I'm like working out now. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be a dad, I'm doing an extra mile. Like, I ran yesterday and I'm like, I'm just putting in more work because I have a daughter now. I think I had that as well right after we got married. Like, well, what kind of husband do you want to be? Like, be exceptional. Now I have a daughter. Like, push yourself extra, because again, ideally she's going to learn most from us. And I want her to learn from our behavior, not just what we teach her. I mean, be what you want her to be.
Yeah.
So be like, you are great at taking care of her and nurturing. And of course I try to be.
Yeah, you are.
But also, like, I want her to be a hard worker and independent and able to solve problems on her own and face adversity. Of course, you bring those qualities as well. But again, I think just between men versus women, there's qualities that
Yeah.
each will be able to teach their children in different ways.
And I think I just want her to have too, like what I have with my family and like with my mom. Like, I don't know what my mom and dad did to raise me, but like I love being at home with my parents, you know, and like I just want her to, I don't know.
It's just like
I'm just about taking care of everybody and just wanting to create a family that's like what I've had.
Yeah. And I think what sums up your family's not perfect, of course.
No.
But it's peaceful. Like, I think your house is always peaceful.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times when the kids are on a little sugar high and it's like, okay, this is arguably not peaceful.
Right.
But overall, it's still, I would still trade screaming kids at your house, being there, present there, and then most other places. You know, it's just rooted in love. It's just a good place.
Yeah.
From the leadership of your parents and the parents of all of our nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of
I like that.
Where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and I think people like to watch you do your thing on camera.
You think so?
Yeah, you have like a presence to you. I think you're naturally pretty good at it. I honestly am always like a bit nervous on camera and I always have like a little bit of like my heart is racing higher than it should be right now.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm not content. I'm kind of like an anxious person naturally, I feel like.
Do you know who you're talking to?
I know, it's weird, but then also it makes me think of that time that it's always good to go to auditions when you have like a real couple because they want obviously chemistry between the couple.
Yeah.
Kara's first audition she went to, it was a commercial audition with like a casting director who I'm not crazy about and he's kind of hard to work with. We go in there, we do the commercial audition together. We're supposed to be like having a date night. We're grabbing some popcorn and we're popping up on the couch and watching some TV.
I kind of forgot about this.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, it went pretty good. Like we left and like it went all right and I felt pretty good about it. Cut to like 3 days later, we're getting like callbacks are coming in. Long story short, Cara gets a callback and I don't.
But see, that's when my nerves take over. Because I think the reason I was maybe so like fine with it is because I'm with you.
Oh.
But then when I had to go there, I was like,
really?
What am I doing? I'm out of my element.
Yeah, but obviously you did fine. And then after you left,
Didn't book it,
no. But that's just funny because you obviously had something about you that was good enough on camera. So I want you, it would be cool. I hope this channel also goes in a path where I'm able to do my own thing about certain topics. And I think you are able to lean into your motherhood and talk about kind of the stuff that you already mentioned.
Yeah.
And the value that you'd be able to share with raising a little baby.
I think things that I can talk about, like I said, it's nothing new, but I think it's just sometimes like, it's just nice to hear it from other people who are going through it.
Yeah, for sure. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need more of that.
Yeah.
Let's do one more quick piece.
Okay.
I have this book I brought. It's 3,000 questions about me.
Okay. I think your mom gave this to us.
Yeah, that was actually a cool gift. And
shout out Mindy Cruz.
Shout out Mindy Cruz. We use this on like road trips and random stuff.
Yeah.
But
our long road trips.
Yes.
That we need some entertainment.
Yes.
Because we have a road trip coming up and my mom's like, just take your time, enjoy the countryside. I'm like, Mom, I've been on this road trip like 20 times. I no longer enjoy the countryside.
Yeah, it's hard to just take it in. Especially when you're...
I just want to get there.
Yeah. And by far the worst state ever to travel through is Nebraska.
Yeah, but we never go through there.
I know, but I think of it every time. Like I remember how horrendous that was.
Yeah, that was awful. But yeah, even the route we go now is not that entertaining.
Yeah, it's rough. Anyways, pick a number between 1 and 3,000 and then we'll just answer one of these questions and we'll call it good.
Okay. 1,102. That's Harlow's birthday.
I about turned to the exact page. 1,102? Nice. Has someone ever been promoted over you who you felt was not qualified for the job?
Ooh. I don't think so. I don't think I've had an experience like that.
I think of that question more as like a corporate world.
Yeah.
Our jobs have always been odd.
Yeah.
Besides my modeling and acting, I really have not done like a normal 9 to 5. It's all been like gig work.
Right. But I think you could there's probably an experience you've had where somebody's gotten the job that you didn't feel like.
Yeah, like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in a sense they got promoted. We all went through the same process and they ended up booking the job even after we all did the same number of callbacks. Yeah, the younger side of me would have been like very surprised, I guess. But now I understand it's just there's so much out of your control.
Right.
But even in any vein of life, I think it's good to just let some people win. It's be happy for those people.
Yeah.
Even if they don't deserve it.
I think that's just a healthy perspective so that you don't drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to be like that.
Yeah. It's never good to be bitter. Any piece of adversity should ideally further inspire you. That was one of these classes that I took with a successful actor. And it was all about like the mental perspective of being an actor and how to better serve your work and getting a healthier mindset. And one of his things was, if someone else books a job, even if it's like your dream role and you've invested so much into it and it was this long process and you got so close, just figure out a way to be happy for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's ultimately, that mindset is ultimately what leads to peace.
Right. Easier said than done, but
yeah, of course.
If you're able to do it.
Yes.
It'll serve you.
Yes. And if you could just shed some grace on that person for getting that promotion, just, let it be.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Well, that'll be good enough for this episode. Thank you very much for listening.
Do we have shoutouts?
I didn't prepare any for this. We did this on a whim.
I'll quickly give a shout out to my mom because she loves Christmas, but she's not a big fan of putting the tree up by herself. And that's always been my thing. Like, I want my parents to decorate the house for Christmas. I gave up on my dad putting lights on the house a long time ago, but my mom got the tree up today. Not decorated yet, but she got it up.
Right on. Great start.
Thanks, Mom.
I did think of a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to KK.
Okay.
She doesn't know this, but we had an incident in the Walmart parking lot when we were there the other day.
You and her?
Yes. We were driving and some guy did something stupid and unsafe in the parking lot like they always do, that we always do with people in LA.
Yeah, that's been a recurring theme lately.
It is, I know. And my recurring theme is often to get angry about it.
Yeah.
It kind of just infuriates me. And most people wouldn't guess, but on the road, I tend to be off the cuff sometimes. That's like my biggest weakness right now.
Yes.
Everything that I'm trying to work on, like I just get impulsive. And I exchange words with people, or we have incidences where it's just like, dude,
like you don't lose your cool often, but like there's something about on the road that like just flips a switch for you. Like
I know.
There's like you're like a new person.
I know, which is not good. But so this just was this person did this, and I said if you weren't in the car with me, I would say something to that guy. That's what I said to KK, just kind of like under my breath, and I'm like, because I was like,
because we went through this, Kirsten and I went through this with you at Target the other day.
I know.
You undid your seatbelt so fast, and her and I both just grabbed you like, no. But,
I know. Yeah, I'm not proud of it. It's just this. It's not that I'm going to go there and like attack somebody, but as you've seen, like I will have a confrontation with you if I'm not going to necessarily just insult you, or I have done that before, but. If there's an issue, then like let's talk about it.
Yeah, your thing is like if you're gonna cut me off or flip me off or honk at me or whatever, then like have the decency to pull over and just have a conversation with me. Let's discuss why you're upset.
And I'll be like, here's why I did this.
I don't want to fight you. I just want to discuss with you.
And here's why I'm upset with you, because you just did something that was super unsafe.
Which I can give you credit for wanting to have a conversation over wanting to fight them, but your anger is still there.
I know. So yeah, it's like I'm rationalizing probably something that shouldn't even happen. So I'm giving a shout out to KK because she just said, don't even give him the time of day. She's like, why would you even acknowledge him? And I'm like, why would you just let him? It was me acting out of emotion at the time. I'm like, well, why would you even let him just be like the way he is? I'm like, he should be told. And my perspective was like, he needs to be taught a lesson. Yeah. And hers was like, don't even waste your time. And we were kind of like bickering back and forth, and I was being stubborn on the car ride home. And then like the more I reflected on it, I'm like, she's 100% right. And she taught me something, and it's something that I already kind of knew in the back of my head, but I think it was just like a little reminder, like a little piece of advice from my younger sister of like, let it be. Yeah. Because yes, I could I could maybe put somebody in their place. Yes, I could get something off my chest that upset me in the time, and maybe they would change their behavior for the better. But also, I think as a human, someone who tries to like be stoic in philosophy,
right,
and someone who is trying to be peaceful in my heart and be a follower of Jesus, it's probably best to just let it be and extend some grace to that person and not even waste 1 ounce of energy of being upset.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh, that guy's crazy.
I mean, I totally understand why you get upset because
Yes.
it drives me crazy too. But
the people the people drive you crazy.
yeah,
Yes.
the way that they act or drive or whatever, it's like, and especially now when I'm like, I have my daughter in the car.
Yeah, I know. That's even me too. That's like even what I'm amped up more about.
Yeah.
But I think KK's probably correct in that. In that
for
instance,
sure.
there was just let it be. And
For
it wasn't that big of a deal and nobody got hurt. And
Yeah.
maybe he didn't even realize he was driving unsafely. Who knows? So thank you, KK, for that lesson. You did teach me something. You did show some wisdom.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for speaking up to me in that situation when I was angry and being stubborn. And
that kind of goes along with this whole thing too, is just like, even people who may have experienced things or gone through things that we haven't or whatever, like they could still learn something from us.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes. So that was a great life lesson. And I think I'm kind of glad that I shared that. I'm glad that it just came to me.
Yeah.
Thinking of KK.
Good job, Kay.
Yes.
Got to keep your older brother intact.
There's something to be learned from her. Yes. But yeah, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. If you find value in this, please like. Our goal is to get 1,000 subscribers right now. And I think that'd just be cool if we're able to be in touch with 1,000 people and we're able to make an impact on those people.
Yep.
And that's where we're at. So again, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will see you on the next one.
Yeah. Harlow says, subscribe.